Hey guys, John Plantech here, and in the last video I showed you how to use Mixamo, which is you import your character with or without his texture, and then you choose the animations that you need. Then you export the static model with the rigging, and then the animations, and then of course in Unity you would just um, reference them inside the engine, but in this case in CopperCube we have to actually merge all the animations together and then separate them inside the game engine. A little old school, but it works and it's actually quite, smooth and actually decent. So as you can see, we have our character over here. I'm actually going to reset the uh, scene, but I'm going to show you real quick. So he has a static default T-pose. This is your classic T-pose. And then you have your, again, your T-pose over here. So we can just delete the, there we go. We have our static pose in case we want to just, save this as a frag motion file. And then we have our regular idle. This is an idle pose, one of, I think, two that he has. Where this is one where he just, looks around, and then another one where he just kind of stands still. As you can tell, I'm actually using the free versions, just so you guys know, hey, yeah, you can use the free version. It's a little bit annoying with this buy me, and a couple times it has like a little pop-up that says buy me, and then it counts down from 5. But yeah, you can either buy it, or you can just use as is. Alright, so to merge an animation, we're just going to click File, and then we're going to go down to merge animation, go through our list. Do note that once you move from Mixamo to frag motion, since frag motion, I think the last update was in 13, 14, or 15. I have to do a check, but the last update was in yeah, 2015. So what you're gonna do is have to convert everything over to 2009 files. So I have this FBX converter. So you're gonna add files, click add, search for your FBX, add them, and then you want to destination format, click FBX 2009, and convert. And since we're going to CopperCube, there's like there's nothing that the newer or older FBX versions are gonna have that's gonna cause a huge issue. So we're going to just stick with this, and then we're gonna merge in animation. So I'm going to do shooting. So we don't need default, all we need is Maximo. We're gonna select that, and we're gonna click on that. There is shooting. It's not the best version, but it's going to work for our little demo right now. And of course we can always polish it up. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to hit loop and play. Alright, so let's go straight from the beginning. So I'm going to click new. Save changes? Nope. Alright, so we updated. We're going to import an FBX file. So make sure it's 2009 file. Player low poly mobile. There we go. If you try to import a animation file, so remember Mixamo is going to pop out a standard, the actual model with animations. A standard model file that's rigged and ready to be animated, and then you have a set of animation.fbx files that don't have the model but have the bones, and they reference the bones in the model FBX that you got exported. If you haven't seen that file, just go back. I'll actually link it in the upper right hand corner for you guys to watch. But right now we have our T-pose character, and what we're going to do is we're going to do all his idle poses, and then we're going to move on to exporting them over to CopperCube. So mobile idle, oops, See, this is what happens when you import it. So let's just import that. There we go. So we don't need a default pose, we just need this Mixamo pose. And I'm just going to put T dash pose so we know what that is. And then we're going to merge animation. Again, you get this little pop-up if you're doing the free version. And we're going to do idle. Don't need default, but we need mixamo.com. That's the actual file. And there he is. So we're going to select that. We're going to do idle _1. We're going to loop it. Then we're going to hit play. And actually, I'm going to put idle look around. If I could spell. So this one's idle look around 1 because it's still an idle pose. And then what we're going to do is we're going to merge an animation. So we have, his next animation. Remember, no, we don't need default. This is the Mixamo. And this is the second one. So we're going to just put idle pose _2. And we're going to loop that, and we're going to play it. He's just breathing. Okay. Merge animations. Again, this pop-up. Okay, so we did his idle animations. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go for his shooting animation. His pistol shooting. We're going to click that. And we're going to just put a name called pistol shoot. And then _1 in case we actually import any other shooting animations or pistol animations. Again, yes, I know his hands are off a little bit. Alright, so we're going to import with the other animations, and we're going to export them. So we have the shooting, then we're going to do a sword. I actually did this for some sort of like energy dagger or something like that, in case he has to slash cables or a zombie or whatever. Okay, so this is just going to be /_1. Okay, and then we're going to merge animations. It's going to be walking, because walking's very, very good for you. When you're not in front of a computer or doing anything, consider walking. Alright. There you go. And we're going to do walking _1 in case we decide to add any other types of walking or running or something like that. There we go. And we're going to see if there's any other animations. Dying backwards. Dying backwards. There we go. So we're going to loop it. Then we're going to play. Boom. Goes down. Okay. So those are the animations. We have our T-pose. We have our idle look around pose. We're going to play that. And then we have our idle pose. Pistol shoot. Slash pose. Walking. And dying backwards. Now what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to save this, save as, and we're going to do this, we're going to save it as the UG file, .ugh. Save it. I'm going to save it in the 2009 where I reference all these FBX animations. I just saved it there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to export this. So how are we going to export this? Let's see. Export. Okay. So in our FBX file, we're going to export it there. But what we're going to do is, if you look, we can say this as a whole bunch of files. But what we really need right now is .ms3d. Why? Because Copper Cube 5 does its best animation in S3D. There's a couple other animation formats, but to me, they don't really export that well unless it's a kind of custom .x or DirectX file, and that's in Blender, and even then it can kind of get kind of tricky. So whenever you do your animations, even if it's in like some other format, import it into FragMotion and export it through .ms3d. Remember, you could get it free and just use it, or you can buy it or whatever. And we're gonna save it as the .ms3d, and then now we're gonna transition over to Copper Cube now. So see you in a bit. Alright guys, so we're in Copper Cube, and I'm going to import the MS3D. So how to do that is just click right, insert, and we're going to do animated mesh, and then as you can see, there's our player low poly mobile .ms3d. As you can tell though, let's click over to the character. He's kind of small, so we're gonna have to size him up. So we're gonna click on that, and then we're gonna go, let's try 444. Boom, there he is. He does have his anime texture, so we're gonna have to apply his textures to him. So we're gonna add those. Alright, so I just went to the file and I just imported them. We're gonna go to materials. So what I did, I went to my desktop, double clicked on player, the textures, and then I just, once I saw them in here, I with our character selected, or you can click animated mesh up here, and then I hit this little selected texture to this slot, and this applies it to him. Right now though, he's going way too fast because his animation frames per second is set at 250, and it's actually set at 30 in Mixamo. So we're going to say, hey, we want you to go down to 30 FPS. Okay. He is actually too big. See, we have to get him to the size of roughly this door frame right here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go 222. His feet, and animations, we're actually going to go to none. So we standard T-pose, and we're going to get his feet down to where just about where the ground is. So he's still too tall. So we're gonna set him to 111. Boom. You know, I think we could work with that. Alright. So we can just roughly demo how this is going to work. Okay, let's put him next to the ship. And on the ship I actually have a space pop. So this was made by one of the artists. And you'll be able to download it. So it's the space pop. And it's big enough to where he can set that back to, there we go. There you go. So this is kind of like a shuttle ship, not an actual ship. Or maybe we could, alright, so there we go. We have him set up. Now we have to edit his animations. How do we do that? Well, we could do it inside the Copper Cube, but the best way to do it is actually inside of Blender itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to check where this guy is. Go to the actual specific file. So we're going to copy where he is on the PC, and then we're going to go inside of Blender. So this is Blender 2.77. We're going to import .ms3d. We're going to paste the location of our guy. We're going to hit enter, and he's going to import. Okay, why did we do this? Well, because Blender has a really awesome animation system, and this will allow us to actually view the animations frame per frame. So, graph editor. It's a lot of animations. Let's see, let's do dope sheet. As you can tell, it goes up from 0 to about 450 frames. The max is about 450 frames. So what we're going to do is we're going to go frame per frame and just check where these animations go. So this is his, that's a T-pose. His look around pose starts at frame 3, so we're going to go into Copper Cube. We're going to select him. We're going to go to Edit. Okay. So we're going to pause this. We're going to set this to 30 FPS. And we're going to hit plus. Then we're going to go to frame 3. This is going to be look around. We're going to go back to Blender. As you can see, we don't see any difference till roughly boom at 123 frames. So it's going to end at 123 frames. Alright, so let's click on our character, and as you can see there's going to be another animation. There's Lou around. We need to look around. There we go. Okay, so let's add another animation. So click on all, click another plus, and so as you can see, the next frame was his next animation. So it automatically is like, boom, 123, done, 124, next animation. So that's when we start, and we're going to go to Copper Cube. We're going to say, okay, he starts at 124, and this is going to be, this should be regular idle. So we'll just rename that look around idle, not odal, idle. Alright. And then it's relatively short. So it's just his regular idle breathing pose. And that stops at 183. And we can check that out actually immediately. Right there. Oops. Okay, and we're going to click on all, click on another pose, or select another pose, which starts 184. So we're just 184. And this is his shooting pose, and it ends at 219. Handgun shooting. we're going to, let's check that out in the actual game. There we go. And now he's shooting a gun. Well, one that's not in his hand yet. So I'm going to finish these guys, and then we're going to go to the character control for a third person shooter. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. Alright, hey everybody, so we have our all. So we're basically a collection of our animations. Look around. We're actually looking right here, guys. A idle. A idle look around, idle, handgun shooting, slash, walk, and of course our die animation. So what we're going to do now is exit out of there, and now we're going to move to our actual character. So since he has all of his animations now, we're going to actually make a third person character now. Clydwin moved. We need to make that a little bit smaller, so maybe 2 by 2 by 2. And where to go? Okay, one underneath him. Let's go to 0. There we go. It's right at his feet. Plus 3? Because it should be right around his, okay, minus 3 then. It should be right around his chest level and then extend from there. Plus 1. Boom. Okay, there we go. That should work. And then we're going to size down the sides so it's more oval length. Like that. And then we're going to make that a 1. That's gonna work, but let's make this the sides of 0.5. So they should slightly go outside the length of the character, but not by much. Okay, that's saying, okay, so we're gonna have to stick by, wait, hold on, let's 0.5. Oh, yes, it will. Okay, so you can't do 0.5, you gotta put in 0.5. There we go. That really gonna work? Yeah, that should work. It's not specific, but it'll get the gist of what we need to do. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go to Scene, create a camera, third person camera. Now we're going to say, I want you to follow the animated mesh. In this case, we're going to rename the animated mesh. Go to Attributes. Let's see. That's camera, animated mesh. And we're going to say this is player. Okay, so we all know that that's player. That's the active camera. Now we need to lift up this camera and do this like a Dead Space or Gears of War. Down a bit. Now we actually need to publish this scene, and we actually need to do that a couple times to make sure that it looks good. We could do it like that, but I want this to be like a third person. Okay. Behaviors, third person. Collide with world. Nope. A little bit off. Will that work? This doesn't have like a game viewer like Unity, which is sad. Alright, let's go to top view. And this will allow us to see the gray line, this gray line right here. Boom. Perspective, hit play. That's gonna work. Now what we're gonna do is attributes, field of view. Let's see, a vector. Target height. So that's the height of the target that you're looking at. We're going to set that to maybe 10, but not too high. Let's set that 1. So we are looking down, but just above. So we can see what the character would be seeing. So something like this. Okay, so that's actually perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click on our player, which is totally taken up by this huge camera little indicator, and we're going to say, okay, we want to add movement, so game behavior. This is going to be game actor with health. It's not going to be randomly patrolling, it's going to be, this is the player. So stand animation is going to be our idle. Walk animation is going to be walk. And we have a animation on attack, handgun shooting. Okay. Oh, and we need to add a keyboard movement because this doesn't by default have any sort of keyboard control. So we actually need to add game behaviors controlled by keyboards, stand animation, idle, jump animation. Jump speed is 0. Okay, now we're going to click play and play this little. At this point, the character is workable. Of course, he moves way too fast, so his move speed is going to be 0.00001, and his run speed is the same. Actually, run 0. Speed is 0. And let's see how that goes. Okay, so we need to cut off some zeros. Move speed is 0. .2. At this point, it's a whole bunch of playing around to see the movement speed because our little world's kind of small. Put him up a little bit above the ground so he doesn't get stuck. Sometimes that... Okay. His XY coordinates seem to be reversed. That could be fixed in the editor, and then we just re-import them. Or were they? I don't think they were. I think I was clicking the wrong button. Yep, I was correct. Okay, he's still going way too fast, but it kind of works. Okay, so let's modify this real quick. Let's see if we can do 0.08. Whoops, again, I was clicking the wrong button. And again, there's going to be like a force field, so an almost transparent texture behind you. Okay, so we need to be 0.1. Alright, so a little bit of testing, and his front is actually where the blue arrow is, so he's reversed. So all I did was I said move speed was -2, which actually should be reversed. It's a little bug, but it's something that can be fixed inside the engine. And here we are inside. He's actually moving, again, too fast. But it's slow enough to where we can actually view the inside of the video game. Again, it does have a roof. We just need to put double side on everything. And again, he cannot walk through walls or anything like that. And again, this is some parts need to be fixed, but for the most part, it's all here. This is going to be the elevator where we move. So we need to turn on the elevator. So we're going to need to power on several things. Oh, there he is in the water. So that's an instant die. So what we need to do is actually go to our level and go from solid, click advanced, and do double-sided material on now everything. Not normal mapped. It's solid. To advance, double-sided material, and even in Unity you have to do this. I just wish it was, when it deals with like a solid model, I wish it had like an option where you could say, hey, I want to do it on everything, and then if you want to later be like, no, I just want it like on certain things. Advance, let's check on that one. Okay, well, we're good. Advance, we'll just do it on everything. Again, this engine, you know, it's not the best, but it's one of the easier ones just to easily create any Android touch game or a web game quite easily. And I'm actually going to show you guys how to put this on a web platform. Newgrounds, I believe. So we'll try them out. Advanced settings, so we're going to set all those guys to double-sided material. Some of them don't need it, but I'm going to just do it anyway. Just to make sure everything's clear across the board. Okay, and now we just need to import our door and our force field over here. And then we'll just click play on the game real quick. And once you learn its little issues, then it's actually a decent little engine. And we have our little room over here where they actually fixed some of the shuttles and fighter craft. The server room where you have to turn on some stuff, but to turn the server room on, you need power. So you need to actually turn on the power room, but to make sure that the power room doesn't, you know, overheat, or the generators don't overheat. So we have a little issue over there. A wall we can go through, which is bad. We need to turn on the coolant room. We actually need some side walls. And a wall over here. So that was actually a creator error on my side. But we have some water. And now, after we turn on the power room, which is going to be, if I can find my own power room. Regular storage room. Be over here. That's server room. Or of course we just fill out the world. Looks like it got walled off. So what we can do is edit the polygons, the triangles. Select. Tools. So that's this wall. And we're going to go to tools and we're going to split the triangles. We're going to split them again. We're going to take out this wall right here. Delete, and there you go. Now we're going to take this one, and we're going to lengthen it. We're going to scale it. Oops. Or just take its points. Then we're going to move that over there. We're going to publish it. And we fell through. So here's some computer components. And then here's our power room, and we're gonna have like a little control box over here. And that's gonna be like a computer screen. We go over here and touch. And then we're gonna have a little animated scene over here. And then after turning on, that's the power room, as it ramps up, we have to go and turn on the coolant. That's going to be over here. And then after that's done, to activate the elevator, we have to go and turn on the server room. What's the storage? To go back over here. over here and then turn on the server room. Once the server room is turned on, then we can gain access to the elevator, which is going to be over here if we don't get stuck. Here we go. I have to fix some of the walls, but that's in the next video. In this room and the elevator, boom, over here. So I know this video was long. It's almost 40 minutes. I know it wasn't, you know, clear cut and everything. This is game development. It has a lot of bugs in it. It's not always clear. The file is going to be down below, so all the files in this tutorial are going to be able to, you're going to be able to download them in one zip file for you to just explore and everything. And on my blog, and most likely inside the zip file is going to be like a written Word document with images showing stuff that I did. So if you liked this video, thumbs up. I know it wasn't as clear as some of my other ones. I'm kind of, some of you guys wanted it this way where it was kind of like done in real time instead of all this, you know, everything's perfect, because nothing is perfect. I showed some of the bugs that are actually going to happen in this engine, in Blender, in Mixamo, and in FragMotion, where, you know, it's not always going to go pretty, but then you see me solve the issue. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial series. As soon as this third-person shooter gets done, we're going to move and finish up a first person, and then move back to CopperCube and some new engines that I want to show you guys. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.